All right, everybody. The news we've been waiting for. Uh, Adam Schefter's reporting it, so let's see what happens. But Tom Brady is retired from the NFL. Figured we'd run an impromptu show. Get it out there, share it, get in the comments. Any of my workers want to get in, talk Tom Brady, I'll send invites. But per Adam Schefter, Tom Brady is calling it quits, retiring as of 3 minutes ago. So start sharing this. Start with your comments. I'll bring people on. We'll talk Tom Brady stories, whatever. Wow. All right. I didn't think I was going to get this choked up. So I want to wait. I'm waiting for it to scroll the bottom here of ESPN or any of the others. But when Schefter says it, it's pretty much gospel. So again, TB12 calling it a career. Get into the comments. Tom Brady stories, Tom Brady thoughts. Any of the other staff who wants to jump in, let me know. Put yourself in comments. I'll get you an invite via email. Yeah, we got a pretty good show going already. So, I was watching. Getting the driveway plowed and shoveled and everything else, but yeah. So, 44 years old, Tom Brady retiring. Yeah, it's breaking everywhere now. So, anybody who wants to go, let's go. Comments. Last game will be with the Buccaneers. Last Sunday, a loss to the LA Rams. Where do we go? Pick 199 in the 2000 draft. So many great memories here in New England. Great memories in Tampa also. Wow. Taking this a little harder than I thought I would because I have not been on his side the last couple of years, and it's just because he wasn't here. I cannot believe it. What do I do with my Bucs season tickets? You know what you do? You bought Bucs season tickets. Get to know who Kyle Trask is. Kyle Trask. That's your quarterback. And signing a one-day contract with the Patriots is being talked about now. We got a pretty good following. Sorry I laughed at you about your Bucs season tickets. I don't even know who it is. It just says Facebook user, but sometimes when you jump ship, you better be able to swim pretty damn good. That's how I feel about that. Was not one of those people who jumped ship. Did not cheer for the Bucs in the Super Bowl last year. I'm a Pats fan through and through, but interesting. Now, what one-day contract this week? This story totally overtakes everything to do with everything. Think Gronk will follow? Have you ever heard of do you have your head up somebody's ass? That's what Gronk is to Brady. Brady's going to fart, Gronk's going to pop out, and he's going to say, I'm retiring too. Yeah, he's a follower. Not much of a leader. Yes. Yeah, keep up with the comments. We got a good following here. Anybody who wants to come on, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to invite people on to talk. It's a snow day. It is that's the invite right there. That's the invite right there. StreamYard right there. Or send me an email address. Does Tampa go after Aaron Rodgers? That's an interesting question. I'm not sure money-wise, and I really think Aaron Rodgers is going to Denver already. So I don't think that's it. Not snowing here. Well, oh boy. It's pretty out there. Let's just say I'm not even taking the dog out. The dog goes out by himself today. And I never do that. That's how much snow we got. But, yeah, right from the Raiders playoff game, first Super Bowl against the Rams, to the 7th Super Bowl with Tampa Bay against Kansas City and Patrick Mahomes. I mean, unbelievable. Just all the records, all the numbers, everything. So, yeah, I'll just wait for people to pop up and I'll bring you on. And Stark is even crying over there. So, again, Tom Brady, now it's they even broke in to number 1 Auburn basketball team game to announce this. So, it is official. The day before the championship games, Tom Brady calling it a career. So we can start planning our Canton trip because that's going to be a fun one. Kyle Trask. Oh, that's going to be a lot of fun. Oh, all you people who jumped off, Kyle Trask. At least watch his Florida highlights. I have no sympathy for the people who jump ship. No sympathy. Nope. But I'm glad he's signing back for a one-day contract. That makes me very, very happy. See how that goes. I want to see that picture with him, Bill, and Kraft, and just move on. Move on. Giselle and the kids will get daddy home. Just go from there. But again, Tom Brady retiring from the NFL. Wow, we got a lot of people watching right now. So jump in with your comments, questions you may have. Let me tell you, I joke about Kyle Trask for Tampa Bay. Good thing they drafted him last year because this is a crap quarterback class for the NFL draft this year. As much as I've watched it, it's not that good. So whether they go out with a veteran, I'm not sure what this does to their dead cap. And their cap and what's available, but they had a lot of guys who are free agents. So we'll see what happens. One-day contract is usually just a saying goodbye. A lot of teams do it to players to send them on their way. But no, all the memories, the comebacks, just think about it. And I care about the Patriots side. I don't care about the Tampa Bay side. I can go back to cheering for the Bucs, though. That's a good thing because they were my second favorite team till he went there. And start cheering for them again. I'll get a Kyle Trask jersey. Mike Evans leave Tampa. I'm not sure if Godwin, I would say, is gone. And a lot of the veteran players who went there to play with Brady and rings are probably going to leave too. So it's going to be an interesting situation down there. Will he make the Buffalo Bills Wall of Fame? He's one of the winningest quarterbacks in that stadium. He probably should. They're probably one of the happiest people that he's gone. They were probably happy last Sunday he lost, and then they lost and realized we're never going to get the best of this guy. So, yeah, definitely the Bills. All I get is Facebook user. When you type something up, can you put your name after it so I know who I'm acknowledging or teasing or joking around with? Just make it easy. But no, anybody who wants to jump on, actually, the best way to do it in your comment, put your email address. And I will send invites out. People want to pop on and talk about Brady. I do not think that Tom Brady is a Hall of Fame quarterback. Okay. You got to say that's an interesting take. You're definitely you want to be on that island alone. Tristan, why isn't he a Hall of Fame quarterback? Just curious. Oh, Sean. All right. Hey, Dauber. How you doing today? Yeah, keep them coming. I'll bring you on. Yeah, interesting. So the first question I'll ask, what non-playoff game, a regular season game, stands out to you about Tom Brady and his Patriots era? I'm going to say the 2013 win over the Saints. That's the one I remember with Kimbrel Tompkins. Oh, my buddy Carrie, hold on. Carrie, I'm going to send you an invite right now. So I'm just sending out an email. SBCglobal.net. But that should be a project, Sean. I should research how many quarterbacks have won more games in Ralph Wilson Stadium than Tom Brady did. It's probably not a lot. Again, Tom Brady has retired. As soon as Adam Schefter says it, I feel a lot better. Because when I heard Lock and Four reported it yesterday, I kind of laughed. And I think Corey, it was me and Corey, and I told him that means he's probably playing 9 more years. So, yeah, Tom Brady tribute. I know it's not snowing for everybody. I'm sorry. I keep thinking you're all experiencing this snow globe life that we're living up here in New England today. But no, a lot of fun. Carrie, it was sent. So you can jump on with me, bud. Anybody else who wants to jump on, send me your email address. If I'm quiet for a few seconds, it's because I'm sending over. What about the future of Arians? Dear God and baby Jesus, I hope he coaches somewhere. Because that guy was the worst announcer, like, ever. He was terrible. He kind of just sat in the middle and grunted. He brought nothing to the table. He's kind of what Drew Brees is, just like there, just existing. 1-day contract in New England. Yep, I do think he signs a 1-day contract in New England and trying to keep up with everything. Yeah, Jeff Darlington and Adam Schefter were the 2 people who brought it on board. So, Edelman, thank you for the memories, buddy. Thank you for the memories, babe. That was their relationship. A lot going on in the Twitter world right now, feeding it over. Some of these, what? Wow. Future of Arians. I think Tom Brady is a Hall of Fame quarterback. He has been carried by elite coaching and defense. So, Tristan, I want to ask you, how elite was that 2011 defense that got him to a Super Bowl? Can you tell me about them, some of the players who were on that team? And if Wes Welker doesn't have Butterfingers, they win the Super Bowl. Can you tell me about that defense? Really curious about it. And Bruce Arians is an elite coach. The hockey guys are even chiming in now. What? Because I just jumped on, so I don't know. This is on my side, Oh, all right. I figured that. So, Carrie, you have to connect your mic and your camera to be able to come on. And we still got a lot of people here, so. I cannot see you. I see you before anybody else does, and then I'm able to add you, Carrie. Corey, do you want to jump on with us? We're a big Brady fan. You worked in the building just like me when he was up there. You know the weight that guy carried. It's unbelievable. Again, Tom Brady retiring from the NFL. I wonder how much this pulls out of tomorrow. So Brady has more wins than Fitz and Bledsoe in Buffalo. Yeah, he belongs in the Wall of Fame. Absolutely does. We will maybe we get a petition or get somebody to sign some stuff. Yeah, same. Mike Giardi just tweeted the same thing. So many memories in your mind just to go back over. Or your mind's eye. You're talking about a lot of years, a lot of football games, you forget, a lot of plays you forget. And as they run back through everything, things are going to come up. You're going to remember something from like 2006 you completely forgot. But yeah, it's at the bottom. I just flipped over to NFL Network. I don't know if they're doing special programming or flipped over. We will see. A few more invites to send out. E2G Sports Network. Tom Brady has retired. Looks like a one-day contract with the Patriots. And he'll ride off into the sunset. And am I smart enough to... I know numbers very well. What year are we talking for the Hall of Fame? We got to... can we call and get hotels today? Yeah. Just a text I got. Buddy, I can't believe you don't have a hotel already. Yeah. Jeff Gomes is the one day I'm just waiting for the confirmation, but it looks like the one-day contract will be official. I haven't all right. So we got some issues here. Coming out of Tampa, tweet sent 18 seconds ago. Rick Stroud, who is the big reporter in Tampa Bay, pump the brakes for a bit. Tom Brady has not informed the Bucs of his plans to retire, nor has he told Bruce Arians. Agent Donald He just told us he hasn't made up his mind. So we're getting a few conflicting reports, and that tells you everything you need to know about the relationship between Bruce Arians and Tom Brady that he didn't even know. So we'll wait for more out of that. So it's a developing story, but everybody else is running with it. I did what I'm supposed to do. Wait for 3 sources. Oh, just got to turn on your camera. Oh, So, yeah, anybody who wants to join, send me your email address. We'll sit here and have a conversation. Welcome to E2G Sports. Hey, Sarah. So, yeah, just the camera and should be all set. I'm going to kill your volume until I see your face, though. And I'm waiting for Corey to come along, too. Yeah, just making sure. It may have been wink, wink, nod, nod when he left here that he was going to come back on a one-day contract. When he had the meeting in Brookline with Kraft to let him know he was going, they had Belichick on the phone. So we'll see what happened. Schefter is credible. Oh, Schefter's the man. No doubt about that. I trust him. I sent it over, Corey. Am I an idiot that I didn't even put? Wow, that's a good. Jared Carabas hit it up pretty well. Within 4 days, New England fans of this millennium, David Ortiz got into the Hall of Fame and Tom Brady retired within 4 days of each other. And we can go back to October of 2013, the New Orleans game, and then the Poppy Grand Slam was that night. What a great day it was to be a sports fan that day. Yeah, breaking news, but they're not slut. At least Colleen Wolfe is on TV. Thank God. So oh, there's Corey. Hey, dude.
What's up?
I don't want to be the big face. I hate that.
You'll remember this. I just happen to be wearing it today.
Nice, yes. The good old days. So what are you
Yep.
thinking, man? What do you think?
Honestly, I'm happy about it. It's been tough to I doesn't shock me in the slightest that Bruce Arians doesn't know or that his agent is pumping the brakes. Obviously, if you're Brady, you want to be the one to release it yourself. You don't want Schefter to, preempt your post. So you'd expect the agent to say that. I don't know. I'm happy about it. I don't want to root for the Bucks. I'm rooting for the Pats. You know how much I love Brady. I think it was I still think it was maybe the dumbest thing that they could have done is just getting the Patriots just getting rid of him because I just don't see why they needed to do that. I love Mac Jones, as you know. I told you I thought Mac Jones was going to be our guy back in October last year. Um, I'm just happy that Brady's done.
So Rick Stroud is now saying that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers organization is pissed.
Sucks. Come back home, Tom.
You got dumped over text.
Come back home.
You didn't even get dumped over text. You got dumped by somebody else texting you.
Yeah.
But they have Kyle Trask. They can build around.
I like Kyle Trask. He was a guy like he's a flyer. I mean, he's got some potential, I think. I don't know.
He's just not
they got my two Minnesota boys and Tyler Johnson and Antoine Winfield Jr. But yeah.
So now the cap. Go ahead, keep talking. I
was just gonna say, it's a bit of a shock, but I'm happy about it because now you don't have to, like I've said, I like root for the Patriots first if they ever play the Bucks. I went to the game against the Bucks this year at Gillette and it was right there. I did not wear my Brady jersey. It kind of hurt, but yeah, rooting for the Patriots. And then, as soon as the Patriots get out of it, I'm like, all right, I'd like to see Tom win an eighth. I wouldn't have been shocked if he had won 10, because he's just the kind of guy that I think could play until he decides to hang it up. He's the only reason that team got back into the game against
last week
the other day. Yeah, he's the only reason. I know the defense made a few great plays and great stops in the stretch, but that 55-yard touchdown to Mike Evans again is just like what a way to leave. You'd expect nothing less from Tom. But yeah.
just to go back, I mean, you're younger than I am,
This
so
is this is the classic one. Well, yeah, I remember I started rooting like I was born in 91 and I started rooting in like I remember games in 1995 like right before watching the I remember watching the Super Bowl with my uh grandpa on his chair um when they lost the Packers. It's like one of my earliest memories, and so I had like the 2 to 3 years of stink after that I remember, and then all of a sudden, like that seems longer when you're a kid. But then, yeah,
yeah, yeah, it does seem longer because
it definitely like every season it seems like it's like oh my god, this is we're still in the same season, and now every season you're like wow, the season's over already. So I
we're
definitely
older.
I definitely have a lucky yeah, right. Definitely lucky uh to like just know the Patriots as that and I'm happy to move forward and see how the team evolves. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. You never ever replace the memories for Tom in New England. And I think it's cool. It's cool. No one remembers Montana really with the Chiefs. And I know that it's like recent and his, Super Bowl win with the Bucks is something that is, the it's the latest memory and I was just a little concerned that if he continues to play with the Bucks, then it becomes more of a question as to whether or not he like as far as he gets removed from the Patriots, it becomes, you know, a larger percentage of his career. So I'm happy. Plays 2 seasons with the Bucks, gets him to the playoffs both times. He wins another ring, proves that he could do it without Belichick, and he's the goat. And I don't think there's ever going to be a player like him. And it's just it is what it is. So
Yeah, no, it is. I mean, I remember him in 2000 camp because that was
yeah,
the first year that they did it outside the stadium being like kind of built. It was like
yeah,
a few pieces of steel and
I remember
whatsoever
that. Yeah,
going up there, and then '01 was back at the college, and that was the year he really um, emerged in that camp,
hmm
and just watching him.
I remember the Mo Lewis hit, and I remember like I was like the days before Twitter or any like cell phones or anything like that. So I just remember thinking like, oh no, is Drew Bledsoe okay? Like Drew Bledsoe's the I don't think any of us thought in that moment that, let alone like obviously none of us thought Tom Brady was going to become what he was, but in that time, I don't think any of us thought even for a split second that that would be the end of Bledsoe's career in New England either. It just looked like a hit and he looked like he was in some pain, but it was like what week 2 of the season or week 3, whatever it was. Like I don't know. It's just crazy how quickly things can change. And I think ultimately that's what it is. It's like for Brady, I mean, you probably all saw the quote on um what Giselle said or what Brady said of what Giselle says that every single time he gets hit, she's like it hurts her. Like he's done everything he needs to do and he does nothing left to prove that, just reading through some of the crazy tweets of people saying, "Oh, how like why would you ever leave? Why would you hang it up? What a coward." Like I just don't understand people at times because it's like
No,
no, let the guy go be with his family. Like, let him. I have a feeling he's gonna just go off into Never Land. You probably won't hear from him for a few years, like aside from his TB12 method stuff, and then maybe he'll merge again. But let him go do whatever he wants to do.
yeah, definitely that. 255. I had Facebook users send me a link, please. I need your name and email address to be able to do that. So if you've been waiting for a link for 8 minutes, that's why I haven't sent it to you. Why can't Brady play one game in New England? Then it gets into a cap issue. Because if you
Yeah,
play
there's
week
no
one,
way.
you got to pay for the whole season.
Yeah, unless
So
he signs for a minimum thing. That's never gonna happen. That's not
it,
a
it can't it
yeah.
can't with
It
the
can't.
cap wise.
Yeah.
Just it would not make any sense.
But he was done with his 2 years though, right? So he could sign for whatever. Isn't that true? He could sign for
No,
whatever he
he
wants
he
because he had
re-upped
one
last
more.
year. I'm gonna go right to Spot Rack and
That's right.
my source for anything.
That's such a good site.
Oh, it is. It's beautiful. Contracts like yesterday, somebody was like, they should cut Aguilar and Jonnu Smith, and I'm like, sure, it costs more
Yeah,
money to
great. And
cut them than it does to actually keep them on the roster.
right,
Um,
right.
please learn about the salary cap.
Yeah.
It is not crap like some people say. There are elements of it that are,
No, there's ways to get around some things, but not everything.
yeah. I mean,
You
the
can
way the
restructure
Eagles.
guys' deals.
How would
Yeah,
you like to
right.
be the Eagles getting rid of Carson Wentz and all that money?
First
Oh,
off, I would never like to be the Eagles because they're my least favorite. That's not true. The Ravens are my least favorite.
yeah. All right. This just reminds me. Last night, I had a Philly cheesesteak in my
Nice.
dream.
And you
In my
did it in
dream.
your dream. So did you get heckled? Did people
Um,
did people like throw the cheesesteak at you?
yeah, probably.
It's
Tom
the most
Brady.
obnoxious fans.
Okay, you ready for this? Cap
Yeah.
hit 20.27 million. Dead cap 32 million.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm looking at Aguilar's now. Yeah, Johnny Smith's is worse. Aguilar, you cut Aguilar, you basically save 4 million in cap because his cap hit is 14.88 and his dead cap is 10. But if you were to cut Johnny Smith, which I'm bullish on Johnny Smith next year, they just got to figure out how to like utilize him. It's hard to do that in season, but his
Right.
dead cap is 26.5 and his cap is 13.7. So
Yeah, so
it's like double
you're
the
not cutting
salary.
Jonnu Smith.
There's
You're
no
not cutting.
chance. The
No.
only guy that like and same with Isaiah Wynn. It's like it's a wash. His dead cap is his cap hit. So he's
Yeah,
not
because
going
he's a
anywhere.
fifth year. He's a fifth year
Right.
guy.
Right.
Yep. What Sony Michelle would be if they had picked it
Right.
up his fifth year.
Right.
Yeah.
The guy I think is most likely to get cut is Van Noy.
Yeah, he's on the list. I think Shaq Mason's gone one way or the other.
Yeah, I wouldn't be shocked. I think they'd trade him before
That's
they cut him. Yeah.
yeah, because they only have 5 picks in the draft.
Yeah. Yeah,
Um,
we all know that's gonna like that'll change.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
My dream is to get like if somehow N'Kobe Dean falls to have him number like our first pick, and somehow if like a John Mechie falls, like people forget that Mechie was like a favored receiver for Mac Jones in Alabama, so Mechie would
hmm
be amazing. That would
and
be yeah,
he can line up anywhere. That's what I like
absolutely.
about.
I actually like my favorite receiver in the draft that I think would be around there is Chris Olave. Like I think he's like a Tyreek Hill type guy
We
where
we got a good endorsement. Me and Johnny Sunchips. We had
yeah,
Gus Johnson on for
oh,
a
sick.
podcast, and that was his favorite
Really?
receiver that will be
Yeah.
coming out this year. He said Chris
I
Olave
love
was
Chris
going to be the best
Olave
pro.
because Olave's fast enough to be that deep threat guy, but he's also like probably one of, if not the best route runner in the draft. So like I think he's the kind of guy that fits into the Patriots offense um like extremely well. But I have a feeling that he's going to have a great pro day and it's just going to he'll rifle up the board. Like I think he's better than Garrett Wilson at
Yeah,
Ohio
I
State.
agree. I totally agree there. I love
Garrett
Traylon
Wilson's
Burke,
like
but
I
he's
like
not.
him too. He's a big dude. He scares me in the same way that like it's like a N'Keal Harry. Or he's like the same big physical build. He's better, but um, but it kind of it kind of scares me that uh you'd take a guy like Traylon Burks. I feel like is a guy that's like under the radar in a similar sense as N'Keal Harry. Um, I don't like I said with Mac Jones, like people it doesn't matter. I don't think it matters what school you go to, really. Like Bama's not had a bunch of good QBs, but like you talk about Brady. When's the last like Michigan QB that came out that's been any good? Like Denard Robinson. Like,
Yeah, you got to go
okay,
back to Jim Harbaugh, actually, a
right,
guy who
right,
brought
right,
somebody to a championship game
right,
in
right.
'95.
So yeah, so it doesn't matter what school. It just doesn't matter. Like Kyle Duggar, it doesn't matter what school you go to. Like you can have that's not to completely pivot the whole thing, but that's like going to be the most interesting thing about Jackson State with their recruiting class that they just had it come out.
Mm-hmm.
Like just out of nowhere, they get the number 1 or 2 guy in the entire recruiting class, and then um, they also got a couple other surprise surprise commitments. So yeah, I
Well,
don't know.
this day is gonna. People are
The
gonna remember this as a blizzard, and now what this day is gonna be remembered for now is
yeah,
a little bit different. Or both things.
yeah,
Brady in a snowstorm established his legacy and ended it in a snowstorm. Is the way we could call it.
that's awesome.
So
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean, like Edelman tweeting, you know, the more stuff that comes out, the more I believe it's absolutely true. He tweeted the other day, and now he's like retweeting it. He said the other day, "This is the most I've ever felt that Brady may actually retire," and he says, "Thanks for the memories." Like, I think it's just damage control by his agent, and like, why does he have to tell the Bucks? Who cares?
yeah. Or Bruce Arians. Things got that bad
Who
there.
cares?
Things were really bad there.
Yeah.
Cool. I just made TV. Awesome. 2016 Gronk touchdown in Buffalo. I was in the front row for touchdown
That's
69.
awesome.
Nice. It's part of the B roll. So yeah, Tom Brady retiring. Figured we'd jump on, talk a little bit about it.
What's your favorite Super Bowl?
I think it's Seattle. Because that was an
I think,
all-time defense. That really
yeah.
was. And
It,
like, go ahead. No. Go
I
ahead.
was gonna, no, I was just gonna say, to me, it's like the only way I think about it is like there's never gonna be a moment in which I am like within a second had such a swing of emotions on a Malcolm Butler interception. There's never gonna be a moment I think that's like with sports or especially that you go from that low to that high that instantly.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but and that game was maybe, and I say like I said like what's your favorite because I think that game was probably the best game because it was just so back and forth all the time. But my favorite's the Falcons one because it's like you just knew like you've seen it so many times. You just knew that if you get some type of stop and then you score, and you get some type of turnover and then you score, it's possible. And as soon as Hightower strips Matt Ryan, you're like, well, Brady's going to just march down if it's going to happen. And it's just,
Yeah.
there's just something about that game that makes you feel like, yep, it's inevitable. And it's fun to just be like, nope, just sit back and watch. It's going to happen. So,
We what maybe my favorite play of the whole run, the whole era,
mm-hmm,
was 2004 AFC Championship game
mm-hmm,
when they stopped Bettis on the 4th and 1
mm-hmm.
in first place, 60 yards to Deion Branch, and he
Yes.
did the
Yeah.
little towel thing,
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh
Yep.
god,
Straight up the middle. Like, yeah. It was like
like
right down. Yeah.
10
Perfect.
nothing,
Perfect
10
throw. It
nothing.
was, yeah. It was 14
And
point swing right there.
another hidden one was the win against the Chargers in '06 because they had no business winning that game. And that throw he made to Rashay
Hmm.
Caldwell down the sideline that got him
Yep.
into
I
field goal
actually remember that.
range,
Yeah.
that was badass.
Yeah.
And the '09 opener against Buffalo, the 2 touchdowns to Ben Watson at the
Yep.
end of the game.
Yep.
They stripped Leotis McKelvin, and then the
Oh my God, that's a name I haven't thought of in a long time. The Otis McKelvin.
I wonder if the penis is still on his lawn. Remember the fans went and painted a penis on his lawn?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, they scored twice in 100 seconds. It was crazy.
Yeah. There's so many of them. Like, I wonder at some point somebody's gonna have to stitch together every single touchdown that he's thrown in New England or every single touchdown of his career, and it's gonna be something to behold. Like just watching that, there's just so many memories there.
The thing I do like about Tampa is he gets to add Le'Veon Bell is a guy who got a touchdown from him. Gio Bernard. I always like Gio Bernard.
I like Gio Bernard, yeah. Yeah. And honestly, like, so okay, probably the best example of how like Brady affects a player from a coaching perspective I can think of is Leonard Fournette. Like talk about a guy that went from, absolute stud, biggest thing that there is in college football running back, to flame out like within a couple of years. Cool, great for fantasy, whatever, but like for a real NFL running back, can't catch the ball, can't do all this. All of a sudden, he's like a top running back when Brady's the quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And there's just not another quarterback out there or player for that matter that makes everybody around him better. Yeah, it's just interesting. It's gonna like it makes you think like, you get used to 22 season 20 in New England. It makes you wonder not about Belichick as a coach, but about by any means, but about how you kind of get used to having that where you can have all of these gadget players on your team as your weapons. You can invest in guys that are not number one wide receivers. They're great players. Like I think Kendrick Bourne's a great ad. I still think Johnny Smith has a ton of potential if they can figure out how to get him out in space. But you didn't need a number one wide receiver, and even like Julian Edelman would even say, like Wes Welker, all of them would even say they would never have considered themselves as like a number one Devontae Adams type wide receiver. Right. No, like that doesn't take anything away from how amazing they were. But it's interesting without a guy like Brady, do you actually need a guy like that for a player like Mac Jones? And if you got used to 20 some odd years, 20 seasons in New England. Yeah, it's interesting. It'll be fun to see where New England goes, and for us as I guess fan base to not have to sort of half root for another player and half cry about it every single time Gronk gets another touchdown from Brady and they celebrate together. Like I'm happy for them, and I'm like, stop.
So, yeah, the Bucs players are starting to come out now. Richard Sherman said something.
Yeah.
Cameron Brate. So, yeah, they're starting to acknowledge it. So I wonder if he let his teammates know, and it just was upper management and BA who had no idea.
Yeah.
Oh boy, that'll be a interesting meetup next time they're both at McDonald's in line. That'll be quite interesting. All right. Well, thank you, Corey.
Yeah.
Friend of E2G always.
Absolutely.
And we'll join you tonight for the Royal Rumble postcard breakdown. And that's dependent on I still have internet and electricity, but right now it's been a good day for me. So I started the generator. It worked. Ready to go. So enjoy. All right, my brother. I love you, man. Thank you for coming on.
I love you too, bud.
All right. Take care. Thank you for everyone for joining us here for this impromptu Tom Brady retirement after 22 years in the NFL. Have a good day, everybody.
never be another one like him.